Welcome to PTG TV. This is your host, Antonio Hicks. This episode is going to be a little different. I just want to just say that I want to say a thank you. Thank you to my active listeners. Thank you, because I'm on average about 20 listeners, I think, per week or per episode, something like that. But thank you all that tune in, that listen in to everything, the interviews I have going on. Thank you for standing by between the multiple guest hosts that I've had, the guests that I have had come on to talk about political issues, technology stuff, and anything about gaming and mental health awareness. I know even with mental health awareness, I get a lot of people on the side say, well, PTG is politics, technology, and gaming. How does mental health fit into it? So I'm like, well, you got to be in the right state of mind to do any of those things. And for me, it was something I wanted to add in because this started during the pandemic. And I'm like, we saw so many people going through so much stuff during the time frame. It's like I felt as though I had to incorporate it in there because I do care about mental health and people's mindsets on how they do stuff. I mean, it's clearly evident now with so many mass shootings taking place that, we clearly have an epidemic going on in this country that we're not addressing. And it really is people's mental health, which is why we have so many tech companies now pushing mindfulness. Now, it could be a ploy to get you to come to the technology, but nevertheless, people see that is an actual thing. So I'm saying this to say thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate the love and support. I want to grow this into a much larger community, but I still have to appreciate those that's been there from the beginning, those that still hang around and stand by, even sometimes when I'm not posting as consistent, because I have been trying to get on average to get my episodes out at least on a Monday or a Friday. And if this is going to be up on a Friday, it's going to be later on a Friday, but it's going to be up on a Friday. But I get thrown off sometimes because I'm a one-man show, so I do all the editing and stuff myself. I do recording and everything myself. And then, I do other, those that don't know, I have another business outside of this called Engineering Tomorrow, where I do stuff for contracts for other schools and for small businesses to do their content creation and videography work on top of my regular day job. So y'all already know I work in research and development during the day, and work has been getting kind of busy. So with all of that, it has caused me to have some minor delays. And I'm trying to work to get this thing, I want to have an actual show on top of the podcast too. So, but I still want to say thank you to my active listeners, those that hang around, even when I'm not consistent, that still show up when I do post an episode, tune in and listen. I appreciate you all, because some people just don't have any listeners at all. So I don't care if it's the 7, the 1 or 2 I started off with initially to the 7, and now it's grown to like on average about 20. Hey man, to me, even if it's one person, I appreciate the one person for listening in. But to be where I'm at right now, and it's been going over 3 years now, I do appreciate you all for showing up and listening. And then, those that have been tuning in my YouTube channel, the 1 or 2 views I get, I do appreciate that. To me, it's about numbers because you need numbers to show off to people, but I don't care necessarily about the numbers, because the reason I started this was to have a message and to be able to communicate to people and break stuff down in a way for people to understand, because I found that in my regular life, that's what I generally have to do. I have to break political stuff down to people. I have to explain sometimes how the Bible works to people, those that are, Christian believers. Or, even when I'm debating with believers, when they start preaching about other people's rights. But we're not going to get on that. We're not going to get too political on that right now. This episode is just meant to be a thank you to you all. So, yeah, and every time I bring a guest on, it's meant to serve a purpose. So people say, well, how do you find your guests, or what makes you think to, how do you come up with your episodes? And I'm like, it's generally about what I'm feeling and about, what I see people need at the moment. Like the last couple of people I had on, I had Jerica Richardson on, and she's a commissioner here in the state of Georgia out of Cobb County. But a lot of people don't even know what the hell commissioners do. So I wanted to have people on. So I'm going to continue on with that, talk to elected officials throughout, all parts of the government, so they can explain what their position does, how they give back how they're supposed to give back to the community with the dollars that are being paid from tax dollars, and how you actually can see that throughout your life, your day-to-day lives. And so I'm going to continue on with the process, getting other people on to talk about their positions in office. And it's really just to bring knowledge and education to people and to have fun with it. Because, what is life if you don't have fun? We can be serious about our work, but we still can enjoy what we do, and we still can have some jokes and laugh about it too. So, yeah, and then an intellectual property lawyer I had on. I wanted that because the reason behind why I brought her on is because I've been going to these podcast classes and, hearing people talk about, should I get my stuff, protected so nobody don't steal my content or steal my logo or my brand and whatnot. And it's always yes. I have not made that movie yet, and I need to, but I brought her on because I heard about the guy that did the emoji app for the Kardashians, or for Kim and Kanye, and how they made hundreds of millions of dollars, but the developer himself is broke. He's homeless. Like, he literally is homeless. And it's because he didn't secure his contract. And then when he sued them, he lost a lawsuit, and they countersued him, and they won. And they took the rest of the money he had. And so I'm like, that's why I had the lawyer on. And then I had Dre from Trap Nerds podcast on, so he could talk about how they was able to get started with their podcast, and then how they were able to get a part of Charlamagne the God's network. So it's always a means for people to learn, and even including myself, to learn from my guests that I bring onto the show. And I do appreciate my guests for always accepting the invite and coming on, because a lot of people don't. I mean, I've invited a ton of people on that said they will come on, but they never showed up. And I get it. We all busy in our lives, and sometimes I get it too that people see my platform is not big enough to even waste their time with. I don't necessarily agree with that. To me, that's a little rude, especially if I meet you. But to each his own. What is life if you don't have complications or challenges in life itself? And I'm not going to sit here and let it bring me down into a place to where I'm upset and I'm not functioning because my platform is not, to their liking. It's not as large as they would like to see it be for them to come on and entertain me. So I do love every one of my guests that do accept the invites, that comes on and talk. I do appreciate them. I don't care how big their platform is. If they have a message and they're trying to get it out there, and I think people need to hear it, I'm going to put it on my platform for them to hear. So thank y'all for tuning in. Coming up, I do have a couple of special people coming up. I have one of the guys that was, he's part of Metric Mate. His company was on Shark Tank, so I'm interviewing him and his other co-founders to talk about, what the process was for them to get their device or their technology going and actually make it up to Shark Tank to actually pitch before the investors on Shark Tank. I don't watch Shark Tank that much, but still, nevertheless, a lot of people would love to know what their process is like. I'm going to continue on with I think it's 2 more episodes for Terry Chantel's series about mindfulness and taking back control of yourself, which is a good thing, because I'm in reading You Owe You by Eric Thomas. I don't know if y'all know who that is. He's a great motivational speaker, and the book is phenomenal. And it's one of those things about taking control of your life, setting goals and stuff in your life and working towards those things and educating yourself. And you don't have to be a formal education, even though it's still good at formal education, but still educating yourself so you can become your best you and not have to wait until, the next time around that you can actually start doing something. So, and then I have other special guests that I have coming on too, just so I can educate the community. And I love having conversation. I love talking to people, and I love hearing people's story. I think everybody has a story to tell. And I don't like the aspect of, you see the pros on social media, but you don't know the processes like and how they had to mold themselves and all the ingredients that went into making them their best product to give to you all, that you all can nurture from. So again, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for the watchers. I appreciate every last one of you. This is sounding very redundant, but you still don't understand what it means to have anybody listening to any part of your platform. It means a lot to me, because a lot of people that I have been, talking to or listening to, doing podcast classes, they don't have any listeners. So to know that I have on average about, 20 or more, I do feel special. I do. And it doesn't go unseen. I do really feel special for it. Now I know I need to be a little bit more consistent, and hopefully as I grow, I can actually build a team to where, I can start putting out more content, because I do want to start streaming again, but life be lifing, and sometimes, I just get exhausted and I don't have the energy to, but if I want to have a business, I know I got to push it out there. But I hope y'all are having a great year. Whenever you listen to this, I hope you're having a great day. Don't let life itself beat you down. Try to find peace and comfort in the moment, and then take time to, like, every morning I wake up and I meditate and I journal for the day. Or I read, like I woke up this morning, with those that are listening, I did this morning when I recorded this episode, I woke up, meditated, and I've been reading this book. So yeah, feed your mind. Take care of your mind and take care of your body. Like I always say, take your L's for the day. Live, love, laugh. Thank y'all again. Love you all. And you will be excited about the next episodes coming out over the next couple of weeks. So not that any of the other ones have been bad. So go back and listen to some of my previous stuff because we are getting towards election season again. It's always something with election season. But we're going to be talking about new policies coming out, especially about in Florida when they F around and found out with them creating their policy and shooting themselves in the foot. I am going to be making us, a couple of reels on that, but yeah, stay tuned for the guests that's coming up. I'm super excited about a lot of them. I'm excited about all the ones I've had on in the past couple of weeks. And I look forward to this community continuing to grow. But thank you all to the original players that's been out here since day one. I wouldn't have made it this far if I didn't have you all tuning in and listening to. I'll still make it, but I wouldn't have made it this far knowing that I got people listening. So y'all take y'all L's for the day. Live, love, laugh. Live for today. Laugh about the things you have no control over, but always love and live with your heart and lead with your heart. Until the next time, peace out.